Dear USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I hope we are all on the same page on this regard, that I'm providing very, very important, very, very crucial civil justice for myself, and some multitasking is the wisdom. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, we all won the case together, right? And it's a home run. And when I said I sure will get 1 minute medical compensation, finance compensation to entire worldwide, I was not joking. Okay, I have all the proof here, and just be patient. Okay, because I have to provide all the display of the crime, isn't it? Now, what is this session is all about? It's a proof that how Dr. Faucci, Dr.Brinx, with fatal negligence, and they provided deadliest damages to me, and for that I need the medical finance compensation of $2 trillion tax-free dollars that USA must pay me, and it should be direct deposited in my bank account only. I have the proof. Okay, so I will read through the civil justice. You all will aware why they provide the deadliest damages, and I already educated, isn't it? In the year of summer, August 2019 up until December 2019, very patiently I was conversing with the Department of Justice of State of Wisconsin, and I crystal clearly explained Department of Health Services providing deadliest scandal here, and that is why USA operations are all destroyed. So that means that moment the judge and the Department of Justice all got shocked, but they are all in the helpless mode. Meaning, everything is broken, and if they are going to trace, everything tracing to the St. Peter's Basilica, Vatican, Pope Francis only. So can you see how everybody became helpless here? But then I educated, see, Department of Health Services will be freaking out, and they will even curse me to death, and they will even want to settle out of the court. But no, just provide the civil justice. Have them pay $500 billion. They provided a deadly scandal here. And I explained with every proof, every little bit of proof they wanted, I provided it. And they were super shocked because the proof is there. No denial here, no joke. No scam, no spam, no misinformation here. It's a live proof. But then they became helpless. So now this is my time now. In front of all the nations, in front of entire human kingdom, I will get the justice rightful way, ethical human standards way, isn't it? The Department of Health Services knows. They feared that the federal government will only shut down the Department of Health Services no matter what for this deadliest crime they provided. Do you know what crime they provided and why exactly Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinx even bothered to provide that scandal in a chain reaction of scandal? Okay, I'll explain for a little bit of overview. Okay. Now, the welfare services, right, they are only created to help the poverty people or the less privileged people or people who are financially struggling people like that. But then for them to provide that services, Department of Health Services, the doctors, medical field, they have to provide the guidelines. See, for the year 2019, this chart will display who are coming under the poverty population, who are coming under the low income population, like that. And according to that percentage, use your rate engine calculator and you calculate the monthly or the yearly or whatever finance aid you can provide to the population and use this chart. This is what the medical services says to the welfare officers, welfare program. But then this is how, that's a calculator that's going on behind it, right? So who gives the chart to the Department of Welfare Services in the first place? It's not you, it's not me, it is the doctors' population. They're the boss, right? And then the Department of Welfare Services is also boss, and the Finance Services is also boss. So those three people have to join hands and they have to work on that calculator. So doctors will say, see, you take this chart and you use that chart for a baseline and use your own calculator and calculate and provide the services to the poverty people. Now, what exactly is the crime they provided, those doctors, the educated people from Harvard Medical School? They never provided the rightful chart. Get it? Can you see how the chain reaction everywhere it's going to hit? Because welfare services have to use the chart only for providing the calculator. Finance, banking sector, mortgage sector, utility sector, insurance, banks, whatnot, retails, all use that chart only. But then, what is a crime and a crime and a crime and a crime? Only this chart is given only to the welfare services, not given to the private sectors. Boom, miscommunication. Apple, Google, Microsoft, they do not have this chart. Amazon, Walmart, they do not have this chart. American Family Insurance and other insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, funeral, burial insurance, they do not have this chart. So, can you see how much of important software logic is also removed and not even written at the first place? That's a huge chunk of software lines I'm talking about, my dear fellow mankind. It's the deadliest crime, right? Okay. What more of the crime they provided? They provided a wrongful chart. Then they even never provided this chart to any of the private sectors. Only welfare organization alone was having the chart. So miscommunication. So welfare services using one calculator, and the insurance and the premium rating calculator and the Apple retails, whatnot, they are using different calculator. Miscommunication there. Then the hospitals having their own calculator. Right? And people were wondering why the premiums are increasing, why whenever we are using the credit card swipe there is a payment cost. Everything, people were not able to figure it out, the root cause, isn't it? Okay, what more of the crime they provided? They provided the chart, right? The entire chart itself is wrong. Are you all puking blood? Oh, hold on, there's more crime. Wait. This session is just only one part of the crime I'm displaying. So, the chart means column by column, row by, just they come up with a spreadsheet. Spreadsheet is a very normal, you and I, everybody can use it, right? So they use that only to create this chart and they provide it. But everything in that spreadsheet is wrong. Got it? It's $1 trillion worth of scandal that's going on. It can look for the human eyes only as a chart, but the deadliest crime. Okay? So, who never knew that is crime? Nobody knew. Only because I worked on those systems, I am aware of it, right? I worked on those systems, right? So I know. I've even worked on the rate engine itself. Got it? Meaning, when I worked for the earlier assignments, I worked on how the rate engine calculator even works. So that is how I nailed it down. So can you all see why even God made me to work on those earlier assignments? It's also God's labor only. It's God's way for me to work on those specific assignments. And I never knew that down the road, it's all for God preparing me to crack down the crime and display to the USA government and help the entire human kingdom one fine day, right? Yes, my dear fellow mankind, they provided the wrongful chart. Now, when they provided the wrongful chart, what happens? The Senate gets it, the GOP gets it, this chart goes there. Are you all with me thus far? Okay. This chart, the Department of Health Services, they provide this chart to the Senate. It goes to the desk of Senate. And how many Senate people are there? Let's say 100 Senates are there. For two Senate per state times, multiply it by 50 and that becomes 100 Senate. And then 100 for Republican, 100 for Democrat. So 200 Senates, each desk will have the chart. So Mitt Romney will have the chart, Bernie Sanders will have the chart, then Nancy Pelosi, Amy, that all those people will have the chart in their hand. Then the same chart goes into the hands of GOP. Mitch McConnell will have this chart and Schumer will have this chart like that. Then it also goes to the Congress. So that means 200, 200, 200, 200 of Senate, 200 of Congress, 200 of House of Representatives, and one speaker. Right? Nancy Pelosi. Even Nancy Pelosi will get to see this chart. So then, who was Senate then? Yeah, Kamala Harris was a Senate, right? So even she would have seen that chart. So this chart is not a joking chart here. Are you all with me? It is not, this chart is not a joking chart. It's not a scam or anything. This chart, it's an infrastructure planning chart provided directly sent to the government. And they look at this chart, and every year of fall of 2000 or any physical calendar year, they start to budget. Based on that chart only, they have to budget. I provided all this education already when I worked in the Poverty Free Earth End of the Year 2030 volunteer project. So Facebook knows, and FBI knows, CIA knows, all the nations worldwide knows, everybody knows. This one more time I'm talking in a talking mode. Okay, so I educated each and every why that budgeting is very complex, because budgeting has to be provided in the rightful way. If the budgeting is not provided correctly, then everything gets screwed up, then it will not be provided in the rightful way. Budgeting must be provided for animal kingdom. Budgeting must be provided for plant kingdom. Budgeting must be provided for the day-to-day chores programs in the 365 days. Cost of living per quarter, 4 quarters like that. I explained everything in detail. Now I am not going to go into those issues. I'm only quickly passing through the highest level. Then I educated this budget must be provided to the natural disasters also, must be taken into account. So then I provided how to provide preventative measures. Okay, there are wildfires in the California, Arizona like that. So take down the patterns. What patterns those wildfires have created. Note it down. When you are noting it down, then we will know, okay, every first quarter of the year, the wildfires will be there for California and Arizona. So there must be extra budget provided there. Then this particular area, Florida and Louisiana, those are all close to that cyclone hurricane area. So they will get around that summerish time hurricane. So extra budget must be provided for those states. Then there are the Midwest states which gets tornado or twisters. So extra budget must be provided like this. So this is how it should be provided, and more detail. I provided very detailed level of everything. Since spring 2014 up until spring 2019, I was providing that. Okay. But then I said, when all this is providing, it's very costly budgeting. The people have to sit together and then work as a team. It's going to be team review, right? So let's say if I'm going to provide a budget of, hey, USA government, this is how I came up with the budget. It's telling, according to my understanding, rough estimate, it's coming to be $1 billion. Then they will not even take that word, right? But that's not how it should be. Are you all with me here? If I'm providing a budget to the USA government, they should not take my word. Why? Because there are very many chances of me to miss out some important budgeting calculation, right? So that is why team process is always provided with a team review. So when I'm providing that to the USA government, then the team effort process steps in, right? There will be 100 Senate, 200 Congress, and 200 House of Representatives. Then there will be 50 mayors, 50 governors. They all will join hands. They will review, take that, oh, Vethapriya provided $1 billion budget for the physical calendar year 2021. Oh, that's not looking correct. Somewhere something is missing here. One out of all these people, out of 1,000 people in the government, or at least one people can figure out if I missed something, right? So that is why when I make a mistake, then my peers can figure it out and they can add in or remove it or whatever. They can come up with, no, it's too costly. I think it should be not even $1 billion, it should be only $1 million, like that. So that is why the team process and the review is very important, because I can make mistake, right? Everybody can make mistake, because our eyes, our brain processing is very complex when they are working on a task. Then out of focusing or two areas human means, even when we are seeing, we can still make some mistake. It happens for everybody all the time. That's why whenever the team review helps. But then these people, these cunning doctors, right, the Department of Medical Services, the health services, they provided that entire chart, right? Everything's wrong, my dear fellow mankind. Everything is wrong. And they never thought, they never had a clue. So how long this crime has been going on? Since, let's take last 100 years. So how many years of this chart they have been provided wrongfully to the USA government, federal government and state government, and they never knew anything, that chart itself is wrong at the first place. So it is again, God made me to work on those services, isn't it? I worked on the chart. Oh, it is a very complex task I worked on, okay? Even on the calculator level. Meanings I have to understand how that calculator works. You'll just go, man, it's super complex. But then I prayed to God and God gave me the wisdom to understand how it works, right? When I started to understand how it works, I started to see only the crime. I started to see how on the earth this super cunning medical doctors provided everything wrong. And they were pocketing all the dollars that rightfully belong to you and me, to the worldwide. Okay, so that is that highest level part. So I addressed it to the rightful people, Department of Justice of State of Wisconsin, and I said, whatever this chart is provided by the doctors to the United States of federal government and state government for the past 100, 500 years is absolutely wrong. Please ask them to pay $500 billion. And I said, they'll get mad. Why they'll get mad? St. Mary's Hospital is there. St. Judas Cancer Hospital is there. Children's Hospital is there. Adult Hospital is there. Orphanages is there. Foster care is there. Everything comes under the health care only. Then Cigna, those are then the health insurance is there. Everything will get it. Walmart will get it, right? Because they have pharmacy. If you're going to go to the Walmart, sometimes you will do your grocery, and then if you want to get a ibuprofen, you'll go to the pharmacy and get ibuprofen too, right? Can you all see how everything got traced, and I cracked down on the puzzle? It's just started earlier sessions. You all must be wondering why this lady starting in the swiping of the credit card, isn't it? Now we all got it. Now we all got it, isn't it? Even the swiping of the card which we are doing is okay. But how it was written in a wrongful way, the software lines of code written in the wrongful way is wrong. It's a crime. And that directly traces to the Vatican. The Swiss army, Swiss guard, deadliest nuclear weapon, drug rifles, is not even there in any of the billing, any of the payment system. Got it? Any of the database. If you're going to go to the healthcare insurance, it will not be there. Are you seeing that real severity of the crime I'm talking about, and how foolish this Dr. Faucci and Brinx can be? They were thinking they're making a joke or mockery by creating prank. It's okay like that. They created the prank after all. Like how people create prank during April Fool's Day. We are not in April yet, but that April 1st is celebrate for April Fool's Day. That's exactly what they did to us. And on what scale? Huge scale, isn't it? Worldwide got impacted by that prank. That fear they created for the human brains for the entire year, right? It's all because I displayed their crime to the justice. They just could not take it. So these why they wanted Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinx to provide that scandal. They provided the same scandal for Ebola virus, HIV virus, Zika virus. And then they said, hey, you all provided a scandal for those viruses, right? You all be the best person. Go, do the same scandal for COVID-19, but make sure all the people gets that fear and freaked out, and make sure that you mandate the mask and create more $1 trillion revenue for medical services and retail services. This is your job. Go do that task. And you get paid with a $1 million salary. They did it. They did it, isn't it? CNN News got fooled. They interviewed Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brinx, and how much of show they were making. And out of all the shows, always one man, the innocent man, was discomfort. Can you all see? You go and see all the shows. It was only one and only President Trump, the innocent man, was in a discomfort mode because I was educating the wisdom, and the Republican admin got it, and he got it, the message. President Trump got the message that these two foolish people, the criminals, the true criminals, are providing a show, and then the population will be getting freaked out with the fear, and they are going to get mandated to be wearing the mask. Oh no, that is injustice. He knew that. He never wanted that to happen for the population. But even in his discomfort mode, he was only trying to convey to the population, and even then Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinx was threatening him, right? Threatening him not in a look like threatened mode, but still threatened. Can you see how to explain that? Some people will insult you directly, or some people will insult you indirectly. Some people will not say that they're insulting you, but still they will insult you like that. They do not want their show to get scrapped because of this President Joe Biden's wanting to communicate the truth of the scandal. So this session is about what? Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brinx, the prostitutes, they created damages to me, isn't it? And I want United States of America to pay me tax-free $2 trillion for that. And Pope Francis must pay $500,000 trillion to each civilian times 7.9 plus billions means, as I said, as I promised, as I challenged you all, I all got $500,000 trillion medical compensation for each and every single civilian worldwide. Any corner of the earth will get it. And Pope Francis must pay that penalty. Why? It is Pope Francis who mandated Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brinx to provide that. So when I was conversing with the DOJ system of the state of Wisconsin, Pope Francis must sense it. Got it? Because the Department of Health Services would have got it, and they should have immediately conveyed that to the Pope Francis. And Pope Francis must have said, okay, this lady supervises, we don't know what to do. Okay, do this kind of a crap and throw acid on her. Let the DOJ team sign the injustice for her. And then China is always talking about the tax war with President Trump admin, and Amazon, those retailers are also talking about the tax fraud, tax not able to pay tax and something like that. So create that as a baseline and make Wuhan, China a scapegoat. It's okay. China will take that shame no matter what, because for them, their alliance with USA is forever, no matter what, right? You name anything, everything and anything is from China, right? From chicken nuggets to all the way to even a pin, a safety pin, it's from China. So they knew. Always they are having the secured transactions, the trade transactions with China. So throw that scapegoat shame on them, they will still take it, the shame, and still they'll be slaves to you, so don't worry about that. So make Wuhan, China as a crime, as a, the shameful thing. And in all the show, There again, our innocent man, you know, President Trump, was mocking China only. Right? The population never got it. Because he has to provide that show, my dear fellow mankind. Right? Some of the people were thinking, oh no, why on the earth he is mocking China? Right? The Chinese people were shouting, please, President Trump, do not mock China like that. But he was still mocking anyways because he has to provide that show. It was an indirect message. Nobody got it. And I knew everything, whatever that was going on, right? Now you all got it. It's all about the tax processing. And I said nobody should pay tax. And everything, can you all see, everything got traced. Every puzzle's got unsolved. And why Brett Kavanaugh wanted to throw acid on me and they created the robocall poverty man. It's also for the tax fraud only. That voice message also came that only, right? Now, can you see every single thing? How Queen Elizabeth II taps down the population whenever a nation or population says they cannot pay tax. And I was only educating, do not pay tax. Nations should not collect tax. Wait, watch and see. USA is going to pay the tax for the population. And they threw acid at me. Are you all with me this far? Thus far? This far or thus far? Whatever. Right? More crime is there. But this crime, if you're going to see the screenshot, your blood will super boiling. But all I'm saying is, hold on tight. More crime is there. You all need to know how I am a fighter for you, isn't it? For you all, isn't it? You all need to know I am a warrior for you all, isn't it? One woman broke the world record. How? Why? I broke the world record of entire male people worldwide, our forefathers who were considered as warriors. Alexander the Great, I broke his world record. Right? Napoleon Bonaparte the Great, I broke his world record too. He is the one out of all these people on the generation era, he was the one. He's also a short man only. But he had that bravery to just handcuff Pope. And that created that French Revolution crap. Let's leave that apart aside. So if you see, I broke the world record of all the male people who were considered as the super toughest leaders, isn't it? Alexander the Great. He went all the way to the Greece, everything, blah, 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 blah. Boom, he was not able to get into the India. Right. So I broke the world record. So okay. Then come to the men in the Holy Book Bible. Moses, I broke the world record. They all the forefathers must be smiling and being happiest because whatever they wrote became true one fine day. But that's how it's a God's miracle part. That means even those people who wrote, they just wrote whatever God mandated them to write. They never knew, will it happen, will it not happen? They never bothered to ask God. Moses never asked God, hey God, see, I'm writing whatever you are saying. Will it be happening? No, he never asked. And I broke the world record of Noah's too. Noah's Ark. They're all men only. Abraham, Daniel. Then there is that lady called Queen Esther who fought for people of Israelites. Right. Deborah, the judge, who became judge. I broke their world record. I broke anybody's world record. And then I also finished 7.9 plus billions of labor, of hard working. So nobody have to go to workplace after all. Are you all shouting amen? I know. I know. All the middle class population never wanted to go to the workplace, right? But still, they are mandated to go to the workplace because they have to pay the bills. But what I'm saying, nobody have to go to workplace anymore. How cool is that, isn't it? Yes, my dear fellow mankind, I was educating wisdom only. Today, that the five people of the Department of Justice, they'll be shedding tears of shame, right? Even they never knew this COVID-19 will come. I never knew when I was interacting with them. I only said Department of Health Services is very capable of creating any kind of a hell. If at all anybody comes in their way, they know how to tear down the people, but be aware of that. So please have them pay $500 billion. And there you go, they mandated Dr. Faucci and Dr.Brinx to create the entire scandal. Right? Department of Justice, everybody became helpless mode. So in the hierarchy level of the crime, Queen Elizabeth II, absolute monarchs, they are the ones who mandate the doctors to create diseases. If they say, hey, Pope Francis, all Pope Francis has to do is, hey, Pfizer, hey, Bayer, create this particular Zika virus in South America. They will, okay, Pope, we will do it, it's done. One day they will create the disease. One day alone is needed to create the disease. Then Pope Francis will come to and say to the doctors, hey, it looks like malaria has been gone. Why can't you create malaria, inject toxins in the mosquitoes and create malaria? Oh, Bayer's Monsanto. Oh, absolutely, Pope. We'll surely do that. Don't worry. Oh, you gave the task today. Oh, yesterday itself is finished. Like that, they will work on very fastest way to create the disease. And then Pope will say, okay, you all did a good job in creating the diseases. Congratulations. Now I'll throw you salary and luxury. Okay, keep it and make sure whenever people are running to the hospital, you have to provide long list of medical billing. Got it? And provide tax on it. That way they'll be tired down more and die out of stress. I want that only. You see, I'm Pope. I love to enjoy the blood of people. And Queen Elizabeth, for her side, she will say, for me that disease and all is not enough. I want white skin cops to throw all the innocent African Americans in the jail, and every single day civilians may take the gun and take shooting and killing each other. Oh, I just love that bloodshed. Can you all do it? Oh, if you're going to do that, oh, by state I'll provide luxury. Oh, how about state of Georgia? Hey, can you take turns this time of the year? Can you make a shooting scene? I, Queen of Elizabeth, will throw some dollars for you. This is what she will say. And you all got it. How the crime itself is made it to be an organized way. Nobody can stand up and ask Queen because criminal law is there to free her up. And if you see the patterns, they are not in any of this. They are not in any of these operations. So when they are not in any of the operations, even educated people, the brain will not even get to think in that way, right? One side, Pope is God, Queen Elizabeth is God, they are talking sweeter, they are providing the dollars for the operations, how good they are, only brain will be working. The human brain will not even get to think. Will they be the true hell creators? Will they be the disaster creators? The brain will not even work on that side. But then, when all this confusion and chaos was going worldwide, it is God made me to work on this particular complex task, my dear fellow mankind. Don't you all think how beautiful, how wonderful, how awesome is God's ways are, known only to God, right? I never knew. Now tell me, if I'm not educating you about this chart scandal, you all would not have known. Right? You all will be going to the Walmart, you all will be going to the hospital for a lab test, you all will be going to the insurance and paying the car insurance, like that. You all be going to the utility and paying the insurance, but just swipe up the card, you never know what exactly is going on behind, isn't it? I will reveal more crime. But this is just one crime, and this one crime itself is too much of a crime, right, to handle it? Because it's not a one-day crime. It's a 500. Since day one, United States of America was created, this crime is created. Now, if you trace it back, the Statue of Liberty hand says all African Americans must be, or the immigrants must be slaves to Queen Elizabeth II. That hand, the Statue of Liberty hand says that. And if you go and look into the 27 amendments, everything says about the tax mandate, slavery mandate. Can you all get it? How every single crime, the puzzles are solved. This is an excellent processing. This is how a root cause identification can be provided, risk mitigation process can be identified, and root cause can be identified and nailed and burnt down. Got it? So for whatever damage Dr. Fauci, Dr.Brinx provided to me, United States of America must pay me $2 trillion. And Pope Francis must pay to each civilian $500,000 trillion for Dr. Fauci, Dr.Brinx created the COVID-19 scandal. So what is COVID-19 one more time? In the world of insurance, the national benefits is called as a coverages. So they wanted cut it short to be COV, COV. Then what is ID? It's an identification. In the software line of code, they wanted to have that ID. So then it will be easy for them to write the logic. So they wanted to call it a benefit ID or a coverage ID like that. Then what is that year 2019? Why? That's when I filed a lawsuit against all the nations for $50,000 trillion. And I also filed a lawsuit against Department of Health Services. And I absolutely directly educated to the USA government, hey, stop. This chart given by the Department of Health Services to the USA federal and the state government is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. You go in this screenshot, you're going to see that screenshot. Okay. If there be a need for me to explain it, I will explain it later on. But just be aware on the highest level, the Department of Health Services providing federal poverty chart to the USA government for operations. Everything is wrong. Now tell me, everything is wrong. 27 amendments is wrong. Now Pledge of America is wrong. National anthem is wrong. Then finance is wrong. Everything is wrong. Insurance calculator, everything is wrong. Let's all put that aside. The three important law. The three important law never written in the amendment, the law book. And how that create this havoc. Child marriage population, it was not written. I said to the Department of Justice, hey, how on the earth tax agencies was working, providing for child marriage population? They never puked. They got shocked out of the world. Because they never thought, I, Vethapriya, will ask that question. I never went to the accredited law school. They all went to the law school. It's just that they were not able to faint and pass out, right? They got the shock. They know who I am. That is why they're puking. They must be, if at all they're living, they must be puking in the jail only. Right? Because whatever I was educating, it's happening now, isn't it? I said, Department of Health Services, they will do what not to destroy if at all anybody stands in their way and says that they are providing the poverty. They are the poverty creators after all. That I was conversing with August 19 to December 2019, and they signed the injustice, and boom, COVID-19 plague was created worldwide on a different layer level, right? So can you see the supreme God's natural power? Whenever people try to hurt me, it's God stands before me, besides me, and fights for me. They took the curse on themselves, isn't it? So this chart, it might look a simplest chart, a spreadsheet chart, but they created a total disaster out of that simplest chart alone, my dear fellow mankind. Now, leave that part. Then, I educated the Secretary of the State of Wisconsin, Department of Health Services leader. Are you laughing? I know. Because Department of Health Services leader only provides this chart. And then the tax leader. So I reached out to the rightful people only. And I provided all the explanation which I was explaining to the Department of Justice, which I provided in the Poverty Free Earth End of the Year 2030 Volunteer Project, with the example, with all the proof by proof, since June of 2020 up until December of 2020. Again, after I got laid off. I thought, okay, when I'm displaying the errors of the USA government, I will get paid as a salary. At least that can help me to take care of. And I was educating, and I asked, I begged State of Wisconsin Secretary, telling that, hey, please can you pay the salary for that? Please can you sit with the two presidents, because they keep on fighting. They don't know what they're doing. But on the other side, there's a deadliest crime that's going on. I can fix it. I can step in, and I can become the national leader, and I can do all the help and can take care of my people as my family. Please can you provide that help for me? And I can work for your team. This is what I told them. Meaning, whatever design I can provide after signing the job, I can work like that. Work pathway can come through the Secretary of the State of Wisconsin, Department of Health Services leader, tax leader, like that. And I can work from home behind the scenes. And I provided everything. Okay, if that is not enough, even right before that election of November 2020, November 18th, remember I read that civil justice which I sent to the judge, I addressed it to the judge. Oh, that task is left out, right? It said, I will color my hair, and I will again read it. Yeah, I will. I already colored my hair, but it's week past, but I will surely, provide the town hall meeting session one of these days. Just be patient on that end, okay? So, you all got it, right? This particular session is what? It's all about the chart. The chart they provided for 500 years, everything wrong. Now you trace it. Why Hewlett-Packard DXC technology laid me off. I said, oh, Medicaid, Medicare, whatever services you're doing is super wrong. For whatever wrongful services you're providing, it is USA must provide at least $1 billion to each civilian. It's absolutely wrong. They laid me off, right? Department of Children, you all got it, right? Department of Children Families threw acid on me. Because they were working with this wrongful chart all along. Since 1935, they have been working with this wrongful chart. So 1935, how many years? Almost 80 years or 100 years, close to 100 years. So each year is 365 days. So how that logic would all mandated to be written in the wrongful way. So they are answerable to the federal government, right? Why they never helped homeless one side, why they were never able to help any of the poverty people. Everything's wrong. And I went to the extent and a detailed level, my dear fellow mankind. You will not believe me. I educated, this is why, this is how the software logic should be written, but this is how it's written in the wrongful way. Department of Justice got the shock, but they are helpless mode. Right? Yes, I must get the civil justice, don't you all think so? Yes, I must get $2 trillion because I am the only one in the whole entire earth displayed the scandal of Dr. Faucci and Dr.Brinx to the USA government. So I should get the $2 trillion salary. It's a salary, right? When I'm displaying USA government errors with the proof, then I should get the rightful salary. It's up to me of what to do with those dollars later on. I can chew it, I can throw it on the fire and burn it. I can throw it just like that on the road, whatever. It's my choice, it's my life, right? And when I'm displaying all this crime, all I want the USA is to provide me with the rightful free housing, and free vehicle according to my choice immediately. Right? Immediately. And then pay me all this finance salary. Now tell me, the USA never provided me the PROSE salary. Those are all the pending salaries. Okay, just leave that part. Now throw away all the crime aside. There are 3 important laws. They never bothered to write it on the law book. And because of that error, the chain reaction, the doctors mandated the wrongful charge. Can you see how everything created in the spider web and how everybody became helpless mode? One side Statue of Liberty says, reject everything, every single national benefit for African Americans and colored skin and immigrants. Treat them as a trash. And other side, the doctors anyways have to provide the show, as if they are only the boss and providing a healthy help for the poverty. They have to provide the chart, and the chart is fully crap. And then the Senate, they have to take the chart only and start working on the budgeting, and they're going to end up providing the wrongful budget. Can it happen? You can ask, right? Yes, absolutely. That's a proof, right? Few weeks back, our foolish president, Joe Biden, signed $1.9 trillion stimulus package. What more of a proof you all want? I'm saying he's going to faint and pass out, right? And I'm not joking. Because the crime is deadliest. And he's a lawyer. And all along, I'm displaying only President Trump is innocent. He's a super filthy richest man because he's a businessman. He's not having only one home or house. Worldwide he has his own real estate business. Super filthy richest, right? So he will not even have a clue how this chart or how everything will work. Because he's like always richest mode only. Since toddler, he's been richest. So he will not even have a clue. At least the doctors only should have educated, so they never educated. At least Pope Francis must have sat next to President Trump and educated. They never educated. Supreme Court judges must have sat and educated. They never educated. Can you see why I'm saying that Ruth Bader Ginsburg is a prostitute after all? And she's still got an honorable death funeral, right? This is what is all the society about. Full of fakefulness. Fake love. Right? The people, how they judge the fellow mankind based on their looks, based on their education, based on their economic status. And illusion, how people fall for the illusion only and they reject the true of everything. Right? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. Please celebrate Merry Christmas, okay? When I'm saying please celebrate Merry Christmas, I'm absolutely positive, meaning it. It's not a joke here. Because when I'm displaying all the crime, who is getting fried in ashes? I want you all to celebrate Merry Christmas happily, and I in stylish way, fry Pope Francis, Queen Elizabeth II, absolute monarchs in ashes. How about that? That sounds cool, isn't it? I fry Pope Francis in ashes and you all sing Christmas caroling loudest and celebrate festival of true love. I am there for you. Right. Got it? I am the first human in whole entire planet Earth educated when I was working Poverty Free Earth end of the 2030 Volunteer Project, that until medical drugs are created with zero side effects, medical drugs must be free. Oh, are you getting shock of it? Or you're pinching your skin and thinking, or you're living in the real world? Oh yeah, you are. I educated that. So now can you see why all these people, the foolish people, threw acid on me? When I was all along educating only wisdom after wisdom after wisdom. Yes, my dear fellow mankind. These people thought they can get away free with whatever crime they are providing torture to the population, and there is no God. No, there is God, right? I already said, when I asked the United States of America to bring the coffin box of Ruth Ginsburg, Bader Ginsburg, I was not joking. Because when the law is provided in the law court, nobody is left out. Nobody is left out. When this wrongful charge was given, that Ruth was there and other Supreme Court judges were there, right? Brett Kavanaugh was there. Amy Barrett was there too. So what went wrong in humanity to be destroyed in a very brutal way? Everything traces to Pope Francis. So don't all think it is Pope Francis must get out of the earth immediately. And I should be the Vatican leader. At least I could start guiding the nations on what to do next process, right? Imagine a world without absolute monarch Satans. Oh, it'll be super heaven, isn't it? Absolutely. And are you all working on who am I? Oh, go work on that. Okay, and this session is also going to be close to an hour, but that's just the way it is. Okay, I will quickly read the more civil justice for you all. Civil justice as of March 24th of 2021. How USA Republican and Democrat government, GOP, Senate, Congress, Speaker, House of Representatives provided elections in the past 500 years when Antichrist prostitute Pope Francis created child marriage hell and Swiss Guard deadliest rifles, drugs, tax fraud, and 27 amendments of USA never provided any election law guidelines for always, forever Native Indian tribe have highest impasse eligibility to be President of USA. I, Vethapriya PROSE, Native Indian tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, true owner of USA, did not vote, so I, Vethapriya PROSE, approved elections 2020's deadliest scandal in entire life cycle of USA operations, and prostitute Pope Francis destroyed USA operations, and President Joe Biden 2020 to 2024 never fixed the Vatican Swiss Guard rifles drug tax fraud scam, and President Joe Biden should resign now, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, true owner of USA, must be the interim leader of USA now as in Holy Bible guidelines, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, must be the Vatican leader for prostitute Pope Francis destroyed election services of USA. How 50 states, Republican, Democrat Supreme Court judges, lawmakers of USA provided USA elections 2020 without amendments for Native Indian tribes, without amendments for child marriage population, without amendments for Swiss Guard, Vatican rules, deadliest rifles, deadliest nuclear weapons, drugs, tax fraud, crime. Are you all puking? I know you all are, right? And the crime, the damages provided by Dr. Faucci and Dr.Brinx to I, Vethapriya PROSE, comes under the domestic violence of breach of duty, intentional infliction of emotional distress, causation and injury, battery and types, assault and types, false imprisonment and types, trespass to land and types, and trespass to chattels and types. So, what is the last part of the civil justice? Elections 2020 of USA destroyed by prostitute Pope Francis is proved, and USA must provide tax-free millions or billions of salary for I displayed deadliest elections crime to USA. Prostitute Pope Francis must resign now, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, must be the Vatican leader now if civil justice served as in Holy Bible guidelines only. President Joe Biden violated national operations guidelines and must resign now for Swiss Guard, rifles, drug, tax fraud, crime. I, Vethapriya PROSE, must be the interim leader of USA now if civil justice served as in Holy Bible guidelines. How federal poverty chart provided by Department of Health Services of USA for child marriage population, Native Indian tribes, Swiss Guard, rifles, drugs population created by Antichrist Pope Francis. Without having amendments for child marriage population created by Antichrist without having amendments for Vatican Swiss Guard rifles during drug dealer rifles. Swiss Guard rifles, drug dealer, tax fraud, crime, and no amendments for Native Indian tribe eligibility, highest to be president of USA amendments. How on the earth Supreme Court judges of USA provided elections in past 500 years and in 2020? And who gave the authority for Dr. Faucci and Dr.Brinx to create the COVID-19 scam and fool the people for a plague that never even existed? How child marriage population, Swiss Guard rifles, drug dealers of Vatican, Native Indian tribes provided voting process in USA in past 500 years and in 2020 by Supreme Court judges. Why Prostitute Pope Francis destroyed 27 amendments of USA, and why USA never disciplined Prostitute Pope Francis for destroyed USA operation and allowed true criminals to live free. What went wrong? State of Wisconsin, Department of Government of USA must pay tax-free $500 billion for state of Wisconsin never provided PROSE salary to Vethapriya PROSE. Now we all got it. It is Department of Health Services, never educated, state of Wisconsin must pay PROSE salary. That means that traces back to the French leader, the Sicily Archbishop, and the Pope Francis gave the law book, isn't it? It is a French book. PROSE is a French word. That is, they should have guided the state of Wisconsin to provide the PROSE salary. They never provided that. They have to pay $50,000 trillion for that scandal itself. Right? Then Department of Supreme Court Justice Government Agency of USA must be sealed and shut down for humane endangerment, and Supreme Court judges must resign now, as in Holy Bible guidelines only, and Vethapriya PROSE alone can bail out banks of USA. Vethapriya PROSE must be Supreme Civil Judge, Family Law Judge, Children Law Judge, Medical Law Judge, Finance Law Judge, and all types of judge to lead USA and nations worldwide. Civil justice served. Vethapriya PROSE must be the Global Poverty Relief Medical Director Chief for all nations, and must be the ambassador for all nations starting with India, and must get dual citizenship of USA, must rename Lord Ripon Building in Tamil Nadu after my name. At fault and found guilty in all counts of crime of deadliest human wild endangered species, Vatican Jesuits crime of Department of Federal Banks of Division USA is, as of March 23rd, 2021, civil justices. How Dr. Faucci, Dr. Brinx, Medicaid, Medicare, Medical Service Agency of USA provided federal poverty level FPL chart process for child marriage population, for Swiss Guard, Vatican rifles, drug dealers population, and Native Indian tribe population, and tax codes and tax credits and tax returns process, and child marriage population created by Antichrist Pope Francis. Are you all getting it? How the entire Medicaid, Medicare services, software services worldwide in all 50 states in United States of America is absolutely $1 trillion scandal and a crime, and I nailed down on the crime when presidents were only breaking their heads on figuring out who is the root cause. Can you all get it? Why it is the President Trump and President Barack Obama will be shedding tears right now, tears of joy. They were all waiting for this moment. They all knew something went wrong in the Medicare. They never knew what is the root cause. Because the brain will not think correctly, right? Brain will always think Pope Francis is a god, Queen Elizabeth is a god. Now I cracked down the crime and I nailed it on the true criminal forehead. I'm tearing down Pope Francis in pieces and Queen Elizabeth too in pieces, and Hewlett Packard must be the happiest people right now. Associated Bank must be the happiest bank right now, right? Department of Welfare Services of State of Wisconsin must be the happiest one right now. Department of Justice of State of Wisconsin must be the happiest one right now, because I nailed down on the crime right in front of entire human kingdom. Ethical standards, human standards, right? That means I will get the civil justice right in front of all humans only. There is no hide and seek here. It is transparent here. And can you see why President Joe Biden must resign immediately? He's unfit to be president, isn't it? is a scammer, right? He is a scammer after all. How Dr. Fauci, Dr.Brinx of USA provided Medicaid, Medicare, Medical Services Agency of USA provided the FPL chart for the when Antichrist Pope Francis created the child marriage population. How they provided the federal poverty chart for the first place. And then federal poverty chart, I missed out one operation. After sending everything to the government, then the same chart also will be sent to the tax agency, my dear fellow mankind. Got it? And the tax agency will provide, oh, this is how much you have to pay for tax credit. This is how much you have to pay for the tax returns, like that. Now tell me, how on the earth they provided for the child marriage population when law is not even written, when the system, software lines of code is not even written in any of the public sectors and private sectors operation for the child marriage population. Tax is wrong. It's not a one-day scandal, isn't it? For how long people have been paying tax? Since day one. It's not a 500 years of scandal. It's beyond 2,000 years, 5,000 years. Queen Elizabeth II drinking blood of humans is tax forever. And I educated how, dear judge, how on the earth tax agency of United States of America was providing tax services for child marriage population. They got shocked. They got fried in ashes on that spot, isn't it? With that one simple question. They got fried in ashes. They were not able to turn left or right. They got frozen. Right? They got frozen. Meaning, how on the earth they missed out an important law when this Vethapriya, who never went to the law school, stood up, tallest and educated. Why? The wisdom. They got shocked, right? They all became helpless. But today, I proved it. I proved it with a live proof here. So that means whatever that federal poverty chart provided to the USA government is wrong. Because the child marriage population is not taken into the account. So that means it is the doctors worldwide, the medical services worldwide who are the poverty creators after all. I nailed that. But then, for me, humans are always born champions to love cleanest, right? So my brain was not taking it, oh, the doctors can really be poverty creators. It looks like so, but then that was how my brain was analyzing. And then I nailed it down. I chopped the head of Pope Francis, right? The very moment I decoded who is the true creator of poverty, I was not waiting. Because I know this broken justice will take forever, right? I chopped the head of Pope Francis. That is what a true love will do. That is what a true, clean, innocent, double innocent will do. The moment injustice is seen, it will chop the head and fry injustice in ashes. And because of that alone, Pope Francis mandated all these people to throw acid on me. So everything is a chain reaction only. Now tell me how Dr. Fauci, Dr.Brinx, Medicaid, Medicare, Medical Service Agency of USA provided federal poverty level chart process for child marriage population. Can you all getting it? Why the Senate all will be resigning any moment? They are all panic mode. They are all in the hot seat mode. Why Bernie Sanders will puke worms? Why Elizabeth Warren will faint and pass out? They are all adults only. They were all once children only. Are they humans? Can you see? These are all the basic attributes of the prostitutes, isn't it? Mitt Romney says he's Mormon. Tabernacle is a key word they use to fool population, right? How did Dr. Fauci, Dr.Brinx provided federal poverty level chart for Swiss Guard, Vatican Rifles, drug dealers population, and native Indian tribe population, and tax codes and tax credits and tax returns process for child marriage population created by Antichrist Pope Francis means what? Beyond that question means what? USA federal government is going to shut down tax agencies forever, indefinitely. And this is how I tear cell of Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis stylish way, according to the Holy Bible guidelines. Nobody will dare to ask me, right? So either Queen Elizabeth should say she knows what is child marriage, or being a mom, great grandmom and grandmom, she should say, oh yeah, I know what is child marriage, but I just wanted to create that for tax revenue, see, because I'm queen, like that she has to say. Anyways, I tore her in pieces, isn't it? And Pope Francis should say he knows what is child marriage. Or Pope Francis should say, oh see, I'm Pope, I do not have time to know what is child marriage. Sorry, I don't know anything about child marriage. Either ways, I kept the knife on the neck and choked the neck of Pope Francis and even chopped the head of Pope Francis. And I'm nailing on the forehead of Pope Francis non-stop. He cannot escape the death penalty. He has to resign immediately, right? The huge chunk of softer coats missing. So how Dr. Faucci, Dr.Brinx of USA provided welfare economy improvement process since 1935? If we are all on the same page, I am asking for the status report from the Department of Health Services, and they are frozen. Are you all with me? Because they are not going to be able to provide the status report. The billing will be blank. And I'm going to ask these questions, right? There is no billing for child marriage, population, medical services. When Antichrist Pope Francis created child marriage population, how did Dr. Fauci, Dr.Brinx provided welfare economy improvement and provided deadly Swiss army nuclear weapons, toxic lethal drugs and war crimes worldwide? So, at fault found guilty in all counts of crimes of Vatican Code of Abuse Tax Law mandate, Department of Government, Department of Banks, Department of Insurance, Department of Tax, Department of Revenue, Department of Treasury of USA must be sealed and shut down in next 1 second. USA nation do not have any birthright to collect tax of any form from population, and it is deadliest crime proved by Vethapriya PROSE, and in true Christianity alone there is never tax is proof why Pope Francis is never Christian and is the deadliest human, endangered Islam, Judaism, Zionism, paganism, communism, destroyer of all nations. So prostitute, Antichrist, Pope Francis must pay tax-free $500,000 trillion to each civilian times 7.9 plus billions of humans for provided elections 2020 scandal tax fraud crime in USA. Are you all with me? As if this chart is not enough for a crime. What more they provided, do you all know? I already said, right? The poison tobacco, poison alcohol is one of the underwriting question. So this chart is one scandal. And that poison is another scandal. Then genetic modified food is another scandal. Then the finance, credit card, debit card, all the crap is another scandal. Population got fried. Not anymore. It is population who are going to live free forever, starting this moment. I am there for you all. Wait. I have to provide all the crime to the USA. And you all need to know, right? You all need to know what more of the crime Pope Francis provided, whom you are all are worshipping him as a God, right? Wait, watch and see. The crime is more deadliest, and you all will keep on only puking to the extent maybe you all be starting to puke blood, right? Because the crime and the injustice is so severe, emotional breakdown, the blood cells boiling and bursting, to enforce for the population to shed tears of blood, right? And puke blood. Just puke on the face of Pope Francis the prostitute, okay? And yes, this is the civil justice. And this session is all about Dr. Fauci, Dr.Brinx provided damages to me. Who are they? Who are they to create damages to me? And USA must pay me tax-free $2 trillion. According to the Holy Bible guidelines. Thank you all for your time. Take care. Bye for now. Have a good day.